Insomniac has blessed us with what I can only assume are the last suits we'll get for Spider-Man. No time like the present then to rank all 47 of them. Don't forget to dislike the video when your favorite isn't at the top of the list, and leave a comment letting me know how wrong my subjective opinion is. We better start somewhere with number 47, the ESU suit. I really don't like this suit. It's just boring, and I don't feel enough of a connection to ESU from Peter for this suit to really be worth it. I know he went to ESU, but we don't see that. Peter's street clothes would have been better, or even a lab coat Spider-Man could have been okay, but I think even then, I'm just not someone who really cares much for Peter-based Spider-Man outfits. The secret photo task to complete it is a pain in the ass too, so it's at the bottom of the list for me. It kind of makes me feel like this not at all awkward hug.
Let's just pretend this didn't happen.
Number 46, Spider Armor Mark IV. This is my least favorite armored costume. I don't think I'm alone in thinking that typically the armored costumes are not as good as the fabric ones. This is just the classic suit as a shiny metal, which would almost be fine on its own, but I really don't like the color of the eye and spider glow on this one. The desaturated green doesn't look great on the red. Looks like sad Christmas. Number 45, the Resilient suit. This one isn't really any higher than the Mark IV, but at least it has a more unique looking design to it. Eyes are a little narrow though. Pass. Number 44, the Spider Clan suit. I'm sad I'm putting an animated suit this low, but I just don't like the Spider Clan design. I haven't gotten to those comics yet, so I have no attachment to it, but from the large wrapped hands, bare forearms, lack of webbing on the shirt, and pylon-shaped head, I don't think I'd care for this suit either way. Number 43, Spider Undies. I mean, I don't like the undies suit, but I can appreciate that it's a meme suit, and some people might get a kick out of that. Besides, what's the point of being a superhero if you can't be a little rude to your enemies and show off those rippling pectorals? And if they were going to design it for the scene after the Scorpion Dream as a gag anyway, they might as well let us have it as a suit option. Peter's footstep sound effect even changes in this suit for some real bare foot slapping action. Insomniac is a sucker for those details. Number 42, the Aaron Eichmann armor. We've got another armor here, and I'm kind of conflicted on this one, honestly. Like, on the one hand, I like the darker coloring on this one better than the Mark IV, and the extra eyes on the helmet are at least a cool idea, even if they aren't perfect in practice. But it's just so bulky, so I'm putting it under a lot of the other suits. Number 41, the Stealth suit, aka Night Monkey. I think Night Monkey is probably the worst MCU Spidey suit. It looks like a generic grunt stealth suit, and to be fair, I think it was designed this way on purpose. It's basically just shield garb. It works in the movie, but not as a suit option in the game so much. And I love a black suit, but that isn't enough to get this one out of the 40s. I kind of hate the over-the-head strap for the goggles too. Number 40, the Fear Itself suit. This suit is only even this high because of how good the glow effect looks at night. The chainmail texture is a good idea, but I just don't think it works well in this classic suit design. And the blue on blue glow is a bit much. They aren't really the right tones. In the comics, it's a little bit paler, and the stark black complements the icy blue tones they go with. Either way, it doesn't feel much like a Spidey costume. The eyes should have glowed to work with the other white and blue effects on the suit, and those gauntlets especially are so bulky on the otherwise skin-tight costume. Number 39, the damaged classic suit. Come on, we all love the classic suit, and if they were modeling a damaged version for the story anyway, it makes sense that Insomniac would give it to us as an option. The weird thing is we don't have the damaged anti-Ock suit as a costume. I've never put this costume back on though. If you're someone that actually wears the damaged suit, I'd honestly love to hear why in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. The remastered version has some really good looking damage effects. Insomniac really puts a lot of care into these small details. Number 38, the electrically insulated suit. I like the colors on the insulated suit, but I think they made it a bit too bulky. Slimming it down a little could go a long way in making this suit better. And this is an example of Insomniac maybe trying too hard to show off Peter's muscles. I know the comics often do that, but those are 2D comics. They play off male power fantasies and can get away with being less lifelike. But this is a realistic game with real texture fabrics. It reminds me of the bad Batman costumes from the 90s. It looks weird. Coming in at number 37, the Cyborg suit.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
If you're a lover of cyberpunk and dystopian aesthetics, I guess this is the suit for you, but it isn't really for me. I do like that it's a little less saturated than the in-game classic suit, and it has all these little details like the stitching and utility belt to really sell the aesthetic. This is definitely a niche suit, and honestly I love that Insomniac was able to include suits like this. Number 36, the Spider UK suit. I'm not exactly sure how much of a patriot Spider-Man tends to be, but despite being red and blue, he doesn't have the American flag on his suit. Honestly though, as far as nationalist costumes go, Marvel kind of nailed this design. The Union Jack works perfectly with the webbing, and the upside down spider on the back makes this costume stand out as unique. I'm not saying I like it exactly, but this suit has my respect. Between Captain America and Spider UK, we're well on our way to the Avengers United Nations. Number 35, the Armored Advanced Suit. This is an original Insomniac design and the first armored suit on the list that is actually not bad. I miss having blue on this one, but the armor is sleek and it maintains Insomniac's new logo and some webbing pattern. I've never really worn this one, but I do appreciate the design. If it had kept more to the red and blue, I might have even liked it quite a bit more than I do. Number 34, the Spider-Verse suit. This is a suit that I really want to like, similar to how you want to click the like button on this video. But I don't. Spider-Verse might be the best Spider-Man adaptation out of all of the shows and movies, but something is off with the proportions and the colors.
This is purple.
Now.
Blue.
Now.
Insomniac made the blue look kind of purpley, and his ribs look massive. Like, what is going on here? Look at this. Spider-Verse, regular. Spider-Verse, regular. There is clearly something wrong. I know we all want a suit with the armpit webbing, but this is not it. This also would have been better as the tracksuit version, but you can't win them all. Number 33, the MCU Iron Spider suit. I do not like the MCU Iron Spider design. I'm sorry if you do, it's just way too busy for me. You've got webbing patterns and metal plating, and it's red, black, gold, navy with glowing white accents. I think it's really ugly, especially compared to the original design, which is one of the best. We'll get to that. I mean, clearly I like it more than everything below it on the list, but that's still not even top 30. I'm sorry if you like this suit, but also, you're wrong. Number 32, the Bombastic Bagman suit. This suit is a fun comic throwback. I want to put it higher on the list, honestly, but it's missing something for me. I think it's the texturing on the suit. It looks way too rubbery, like it's a thick, shiny material, but you can also see Pete's muscles through it. It doesn't look like a comfortable skin-tight material. God, it's just so wet. Also, I wish the eyes were animated on this. That would really sell it as a meme suit. Overall, I think it might have been better as a cel-shaded suit. Number 31, and you'll hate me for it, but the Arachnid Rider suit. I mean, clearly this suit is ridiculous. But I have to give Insomniac kudos for pulling it off as well as they did. If you're going to have a fucking Spider-Man Gundam, this is it. I think they honestly nailed this design. But like most armors, it just isn't Spider-Man. Even so, I kind of like it. Call it a guilty pleasure if you want. Mostly I think it's the cel-shaded style. I love that shit. Number 30, the 2099 white suit. The 2099 suit has this great edgy style to it, and although I don't think the white version is quite as good as the original, it's still a nice, sleek design. Wait, what's that? What are those arm dots? It kind of looks like bird shit. It has the problem that it's more of an armored suit, and the red doesn't stand out as nicely on those gray tones. Still, I definitely like it better than the suits we've listed so far. Number 29, Spider Armor Mark III. Again, I typically am not huge on the armored suits, but this one has a certain appeal to it. It has just the right amount of bulk to look like a realistic armor that gives protection and an intimidation factor. It doesn't appeal much to me, but I can see this one being at the top of someone's list who does really like this style of suit. And it would go up a few extra spots if it didn't have this big dick Parker crotch guard.
It rides up in the crotch a little bit too.
Number 28, the Secret Wars suit. Now this one carries some nostalgia for me, mostly because I had a toy of it as a kid. The giant blue spider on the back against the black suit looks really nice and unique. I don't like it as much from the front though. Maybe it's the small spider logo or that the webbing doesn't extend out into the torso, but the reverse red webbing on black looks good. The suit looks great from the back while playing, but doesn't hold up for cinematics. Number 27, the Homemade suit.
What the hell are you wearing?
It's my suit.
I do like this suit despite what Happy thinks. It's nice to see a unique starting suit from Tom, and the nod to the Scarlet Spider is definitely a high point for me. But when stacked up against all these other suits, it's not quite as good. Great movie suit, and I'm glad for the inclusion. It's nice to have some suit options from before the spandex. Number 26, the Black and Gold suit. This is a brand new MCU suit from No Way Home. But don't worry, no spoilers in this video. I like the concept of a black and gold suit for sure, but this isn't it. I do appreciate the level of detail this suit has. Just look at this thing. It is crazy to have all these individual wires and shit coming out of the suit. Insomniac spoils us. These MCU suits are perfect representations of their movie counterparts. It's kind of insane. But all the exposed wiring is just not really a look I'm interested in. And I think the gold is a little too yellow for me. I love that the movie suits are getting all this representation in the games, and there are a lot of them. We're not even close to done with Holland suits. Number 25, the negative suit. In theory, the negative suit should be one of my favorite variants. I typically love black and white designs. I think part of my problem with this one is the blue tinge to the webbing and the shading on the suit. It works for the negative world, but not as much just for free roaming in the game. It would have been cool if you could set the game to automatically swap to this suit when entering those sections. I think part of it is also that the added white of the advanced suit doesn't transition as well to a binary black and white palette. I think the spider being white on the torso would have helped the suit look better. Instead, right now the wrong parts blend together. I still like it, but I could like it more is what I'm really getting at here.
Entering the ring at number 24, officially weighing 167 pounds, the wrestler suit.
I'm so sorry. I know people love getting origin suits like this one, so despite the fact that I put this suit on for the first time when filming for this video, I'm glad that it exists. And I do like it better than the Raimi version, so this would certainly be my top pick for starting Spidey suits. It's an important part of Spider-Man's history. Speaking of history, you could make history by being one of the first to subscribe to my channel. You've made it this far. What are you waiting for? Number 23, the Future Foundation suit. The white and black on this suit looks excellent, and I love me a big spider logo. This suit would be near flawless if it wasn't for one small feature. These damn bulbous bug eyes. This one simple flaw keeps this suit from being much higher on the list. They look ridiculous. They aren't terribly noticeable when you're free roaming doing small missions, but anytime that ugly mug shows up in a cinematic or something similar, it is truly awful. This leaves the Future Foundation suit here in the middle of the pack because damn, the body of the suit looks so dope. Do people say dope anymore? Number 22, Spider-Punk. I don't think anyone would disagree that Spider-Punk is a fun suit. I love the Converse with the Spidey logo on the sides. This is an homage to all the different spider totems, and it's nice to see Insomniac really dive deep to make some unique and interesting suits. And that suit power is no slouch either. For some reason, this is one of the easiest suits to get 6 screenshots of too. And god, those spikes must hurt if you land on your head. Number 21, the Spirit Spider. This is a really cool looking suit, although I guess you'd argue it's more of a transformation since he isn't actually wearing any clothes. Kind of like a Ken doll. The dark Ghost Rider-like suit is an awesome addition because it's so different from all the other suits. There is a huge range of options in this game, which can only be a plus. The thing this one is missing though is a voice effect. Hearing Yuri's soft Spidey voice come out of this fearsome visage just isn't right. Even if it couldn't affect the cinematics, shifting Yuri Lowenthal's voice down a little bit with a little reverb would really make this suit stand out. Number 20, the Stealth Big Time suit. You'll find that I tend to like the darker suits that exist in the game. The green spider on the Stealth Big Time suit looks great against the black, even if I don't really care for the Comic Sans design of it. I'd probably use it a lot if it wasn't for a few more black suits higher on the list, but we are into the territory of suits now that I actually like, which is nice. Number 19, the Last Stand suit. Spider-Man in a leather jacket. I mean, what more can you ask for? Honestly, I know there's no comic accuracy to it, but I think it would have been really cool if this suit included a Spidey motorcycle helmet. This suit is perfect for when you want an edgier, more down-to-earth Spider-Man, and I think it's a good choice for the Yuri Watanabe sections of the game, like the DLCs. Number 18, the Scarlet Spider 2. The second Scarlet Spider design really stands out with its bold use of red. For me, it's a little too bold. I think it works a little better in the comics where dark shading can help break up this huge solid color, but in this realistic context, it really needs something extra to make it look good. Maybe a black webbing pattern would look good, I don't know. Overall, it is a good look, but if this was just based off comic looks, I think it would be a few steps up. Not everything can transition perfectly to this style. Number 17, Spider Armor Mark II. I think I like this armor set because it's so different from the rest. And for me, it works as a Spider-Man armor because the design is sleek. The thin lines from the spider and the the narrow eyes give a real sense of quick movement that I associate with spider totems. This suit is also more skin tight than other armor variants. Not to mention I hear black is very slimming. There's another suit on here similar to this one that's much higher up on the list. Of course, we'll get to that. Swinging in at number 16, the Stark suit. I think I might be in the minority in that Tom's movies are my favorite live-action Spider-Man films. Try not to hate me too much, but funnily enough, he has my least favorite live-action suits. I like the moving eyes, but what really kills it for me is the small spider logo, and I think raised webbing looks much better in live-action versions. Compared to the others, this suit looks kind of like a Halloween store-bought costume. It still makes it this far up the list because you really can't go wrong with the classic look, but this is not a suit that I use regularly in-game. Feels weird to hear Yuri's voice out of the Holland costumes too. Maybe enough time has passed since the older movies that they're less associated with their actors in my head. Number 15, the Dark suit. Another black-based suit, you say? Don't mind if I do. I like this one quite a bit. The red looks great on black, and the claws really add to the fact that Black Cat made this suit for you in-game. Plus, the Black Widow nod is great. We could use some more suits that draw influence from particular spider species, honestly. This is just a solid suit when you're feeling a little edgy and want to do some stealth. Number 14, the Velocity suit. I'm not even sure why, but I really like the Velocity suit. Anytime a spider logo expands past the torso, it is a huge plus in my books. I'm also realizing making this list that I like the narrow eye look more than I thought. It adds to the fast-moving nature of the suit. I think it's just a solid design and concept that Insomniac really nailed. My only complaint is that the spider is a bit muted. If it had a brighter neon teal glow, closer to something like the Stealth Big Time look, I think this would be even higher on the list. Maybe we'll see some tweaks if this suit makes it into the upcoming sequel. Lucky number 13, the upgraded suit. This is a big improvement to the original Stark suit, mostly because the black and red look great together, and the white spider in the back really stands out nicely. This suit still has some of the same failings as the Stark suit though, and the lack of raised webbing and the small spider logo on the front, but regardless of that, this suit looks really nice, and I actually use it in game a fair amount. There are a lot of MCU suits, and we're not even done yet. Number 12, the integrated or hybrid suit. What? Tom Holland again? Yeah, I think the suit takes the busyness of the Iron Spider suit and simplifies things just enough to look good. It has the nice red and black coloring of the upgraded suit, but the unique gold spider from the Iron Spider look, which I think is an improvement to the upgraded version alone. This is absolutely my favorite MCU suit. I definitely think Tom has had too many suit variants and it has started to feel kind of hokey, but they've definitely landed somewhere good. I know I'll be using it quite a lot in my next remastered playthrough. Number 11, the classic suit. I'm as surprised as you are that the classic suit didn't even make it into the top 10. There are so many great suit designs, and this one is so iconic. I imagine almost every Spider-Man fan was introduced to Spider-Man with some variation of this suit, whether through the 90s cartoon, the comics, or the movie franchises. Obviously, I love this suit, but there are so many great versions that I really can't place this suit any higher. And part of that is personal preference, of course. We'll talk more about why as we climb the rest of the list, but for now, let's get into that top 10. Number 10, the webbed suit. I can already feel the daggers coming at me from the eyes of Toby's stands. I think for a lot of people, Toby's suit with the raised silver webbing is their all-time favorite. And I don't blame them. Like I said previously, I think the raised webbing always looks better in realistic settings like this game and the movies. He also has one of the best spider logos, placed properly on the chest and noticeably big unlike Tom's tiny ones. The first Spider-Man movie really jettisoned the Spider-Man franchise into pop culture, so for a lot of people, this suit holds a lot of nostalgic weight. And although it doesn't carry quite the same weight for me, we wouldn't have the MCU today if it wasn't for the success of this first trilogy. My first real connection to Spider-Man was the 90s cartoon, and although I loved Tobey's movies when I was young, I've become more of a cynic as I've grown up, and they don't quite hold up for me the same way that they once did. I totally understand if this suit is one of, if not your favorite, but I'm happy to place it firmly in the number 10 spot on my list. Number 9, the vintage suit. This one may be a surprise to some, but let me explain. The vintage suit is skewed high for me because I'm a 2D animator, and so there's no way this suit wasn't going to be high on the list. There's no question that this suit looks odd in game cinematics, but I love it for general swinging and combat. They really nailed the look of a 2D drawing in 3D space much better than I would have expected. I think it looks really good. Honestly, my only complaint is a lack of armpit webbing on this or any of the classic suit variants. I hope we see it on at least one suit in the sequel. I wouldn't be offended if in your own personal ranking, the vintage suit is far away from the top 10, but I absolutely love it. Number 8, the 2099 black suit. It's funny that we still refer to this as a black suit, since all adaptations of Miguel's costume have been blue, which honestly I think looks better than if it was actually black. The suit has this organic quality to it. It reminds me a little bit of a symbiote, honestly, although it isn't. And the lack of webbing and eye lenses help make the suit not only feel futuristic, but also a bit alien. The red spider skull and arm spikes also make it feel really aggressive, which fits Miguel's egotistical personality. This is definitely one of the best alternate Spider-Man designs out there. It manages to take the red and blue of the old suit and reinvent it to look intimidating and modern. Number 7, Spider Armor Mark 1. I bet with all my complaints about bulky armor, you didn't expect to see a spider armor make it this far up the list. But I mentioned that my intro to Spider-Man was the cartoon from the 90s, so this suit is a huge nostalgia hit for me. I think the series finale of the show still holds up as one of the best Spider-Man media out there.
Give me a break.
Alright, it's pretty good at least. And I had a Mark 1 toy growing up too. The suit has a black base, which you already know I like. Plus, the reflective metal looks so good in the remastered version of the game. I highly recommend playing with the lights and photo mode for this one.
Why didn't I think of that?
Number 6, the Iron Spider Armor. I don't have the same nostalgic connection to this one as with the Mark 1 Spider Armor, but the Iron Spider suit looks so damn good. Insomniac did a great job transitioning this one to the game, and I love that they gave it its own unique arm coloring from the MCU version. I'm honestly not sure how the MCU messed up a suit that looks this good in the source material, but you can't win them all, I guess. I will say that the cherry red they picked doesn't look quite as nice as the crimson from the comics, but it's still one of my favorites. Iron Man already proved that the Hot Rod red and gold looks great, and it holds true for Spider-Man. We're entering our top 5 with the Amazing suit. I'm sure that almost no one agrees with me on this one, but I absolutely love the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. Andrew's movies came out so soon after the Tobey ones that they really had to take it in a different direction for it to be successful, and for me, they nailed it. This suit has so much texture. I love the long spider logo, even though it is kind of broken up, and I like the homemade details like sunglass lenses for the eyes and the sneaker bottoms on the feet. I really like the eyes. I know the white eyes are classic, but there's an added realism with these yellowish lenses that really works for me. This is by far my favorite live action suit, and I'm not sorry about it. Number 4, the Advanced suit. I'm of the opinion that Insomniac's Advanced suit is a straight up improvement to the classic design. The large white spider and athletic white rubber looking sections on the arms and legs really modernize the suit. The original Spidey concept was invented in the 60s, and there's no doubt that it's good and certainly iconic, but Insomniac has masterfully updated it, and honestly I'd be down with this being the new canon look for Earth 616, but that's not up to me. I know some people have complained about this suit being orangey and not red enough, but I think the tone they chose actually looks good with the blue they picked. In the new trailer for the sequel, you can see that they picked this like lipstick red, and I think it looks rather garish with the light blue on the suit. If they wanted to up the red saturation that much, they should have changed the blue more to match. I'm hoping they refine it a little more for the final release, like raising the webbing a little perhaps. Also, I miss the red webbing sections on the legs. I really like that addition on the first Advanced suit. Number 3, the Anti-Ox suit. This armored suit is definitely my favorite spider armor suit, and there are a lot of reasons for it. One, it's black, which always looks fantastic. It has the same spider design as the Advanced suit, which is probably my favorite out of all of them, and that glow is just right. Some of the other suits with glow-like effects are kind of muted or less pleasing designs, but this yellow was the perfect shade to really show off at night and make that final confrontation truly cinematic. The tentacle robotics Insomniac designed are really intricate and interesting. Incorporating that into the plated design of the suit, with the light showing through certain parts, just looks so damn good. After unlocking it for the first time, it is definitely one of my most used suits. Number 2, the Noir suit. Are you sick of me talking about black suits yet? There is no question that the Spider-Man Noir costume is one of my top 2 most worn costumes in-game, especially for nighttime missions. There is so much good detailing here, from the double-breasted leather vest and gloves, the pinstripe vintage pants, the aviator headgear and goggles, the side revolver. Insomniac really nailed all the details of this suit to really make it feel authentically from the 1930s or 40s. The collar especially really does it for me. I love stealthing around in this suit, although I don't find the suit's stealth ability that useful, but luckily we can swap that out. This is the perfect brooding vigilante suit. I really hope it makes it into the next game, maybe with the option to wear the fedora and trench coat? Insomniac? What do you say? Number 1. The The Scarlet Spider. This costume has been one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man costumes for a very long time.
Pretentious, isn't he? Try obnoxious.
About this, yes. I must have seen it for the first time in the animated series when I was no more than 10 years old, and it has held up for me to this day. And Insomniac did not need to go this hard on it. God damn! The detailing they put into the red portions of the suit is phenomenal. You can feel the weight of the belt and larger web shooters. The eyes are huge and comic accurate, and the hoodie just looks so clean. I don't know about you, but I know I am in need of a toggleable hood in the sequel if we're lucky enough to get this costume again. On most suits I like the webbing pattern, but the Scarlet Spider is perfect without it, and all the extra detailing helps prevent it from having the same emptiness problem that the Scarlet Spider 2 suit has while staying true to its origins. It's definitely the suit I use the most. I think most people would rank this suit fairly highly, and remember that this is my subjective list. This being my favorite isn't a personal attack on your love for the Raimi or Classic suit. The library of suits to choose from in this game is really incredible. There is something here for everyone, which also means that there will be suits that some people hate that others love. I hope that Insomniac really expands on these in their next game. I'd love to hear in the comments what your top 5 favorite suits are, or even make your own video to rank them all. Let's keep the comments spoiler-free for people that haven't seen No Way Home yet, at least until it's out of theaters. And if you made it through this whole video, then you probably don't hate me, so you should subscribe to the channel and hit that little reminder bell. Plenty more PlayStation Spider-Man content to come. Happy web slinging, Spider Totems.